So, without further ado, let's start our second half. For the second half, we do things a little differently. We do something called long form, and we like to call up a very special guest. So please join me in giving a big PRC round of applause to a friend of ours. She is an architect here who builds a lot of stuff. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Shin Tiandi, yeah? Well, the guy who designed that, she designed his apartment. So, big round of applause for Lane Rigg, yeah! PRC. All right, so why don't you guys start by giving a couple words to Lane here? Could be anything. Cat. Office.
Subi. Studio. Lit night studio.
Lit night
studio.
Okay, well, when you have to work a lot of hours in architecture, you stay late, and you have to. It also requires cutting a lot of pieces of paper and gluing them back together, right? You have to make your models. When you combine these two things, exhausted humans and knives, you have a lot of people going to the emergency room in various degrees of bloody. So we had one friend actually. He put his finger through the table saw, and he ran out of a piece of finger. There was that was while he was trying to make an aluminum hammock. The goal was you had this little concrete bridge at our school, and he wanted to make an aluminum hammock to span the bridge. And while he was cutting the wood to hold the aluminum, he cut his finger off. There was. That's okay. They did not want that to happen again, so we got a new kind of table saw. The new kind of table saw, it's a really safe table saw. When the really metallic blade, which is spinning, when it touches something that conducts energy in the way that flesh does, it actually just stops, and the machine just basically breaks. So the way that you test it is you throw hot dogs at the table saw. Which is kind of cool, and then you have a broken table saw and 2 hot dogs, right?
All right. Yeah, play it. Hi, Dr. Green?
I'm sorry, I'm looking for my finger. Did you happen to, sorry to interrupt, did you happen to see that? Around it recently went missing.
Carl?
Yeah, Dr. Green?
I'm sorry to tell you this, but there was an emergency at the bridge. And we needed to use your finger in order to repair it.
So you knew about this?
I was the one who grabbed the finger and shoved it in there, yeah. There was a school bus full of children coming, and I had to think fast, and there was the only thing around that was exactly that size. And Carl, you should be proud. Your finger is incredibly sturdy. It's holding up an entire bridge at this moment. With 6 o'clock traffic going across it, might I add.
Okay.
You know.
Can I get that finger back at some point?
Oh, Carl. You got to think about the greater good here. Your finger, well, you've got 5 of them. And that bridge right now is the only thing between Baltimore traffic driving smoothly and probably thousands of deaths and a drowning and just fiery ball of carnage. So I want you to do the weight on the.
I know I'm just an architect student and not an actual architect yet, but isn't something like reinforced concrete or steel or something stronger than the human bone? Couldn't we switch that out so I could have a finger, a complete set of fingers,
oh, Carl.
and then I could fulfill my dream of being an architect and playing with a bandsaw. I feel like this is all my fault, actually. I I was using the old school one.
You always like to do things.
Well, my
the hard way,
grandfather
Carl.
used to use that one. That exact one, actually. He had scratched his initials in the top. And I thought if it's good for Granddad, it's got to be good for me.
Carl, your granddad is one of the most famous architects that Baltimore's ever seen.
I know. Very large.
It's a long
Grand
capsule.
Just come up on my knee and I'll tell you a story about the old days.
Grandpa, you're
Come here.
96.
Come
I'm
here.
not sure it's a
Get
good
o-
idea for me.
Get over here. Get out. There we go. You gotta focus on Grandpa. When I was your age, we didn't bitch and moan to our doctors about anything. And we sure as hell didn't cry when our limbs went to the greater good.
Well, I mean, I know.
Where are you going?
I know. I'm just gonna say, Grandpa, you're a much better architect than I will ever be.
Do you know
You've
why?
lost your entire bottom leg. You have a peg leg, and I just lost a phalange. It wasn't even a limb.
I know. You think an old man could hold a grown man without an artificial leg? A peg?
You know, I'm gonna get off for a second. But,
Mom? Yes, honey? Why is that hospital in the corner got that shin bone in the foot? Well, that shin bone in the foot is what's keeping the whole hospital up. That's a little weird. But what do you mean that's a little weird? Parts of people are the basis of our society. Certainly our architecture. Wow.
Little girl, another ice cream? Gosh, 3 fingernails.
Do I get to pick my flavor? It looks like you just got me one of your own choosing.
You pick yourself 4 fingernails.
So I'm very excited to have you on board in our architecture firm here. But I
very happy to be here.
I really need to know a couple of things. So what have you sacrificed for the
so far, just a ring finger and an index finger. But with hard work and dedication, I'm looking to lose a knee and possibly a shoulder.
Glad to hear that, but I want to go back for a moment. You're talking that two fingers, right?
Yes.
You know you could just use a hot dog for that.
All right, we've been awake for 48 hours. Now it's time to do some lumberjacking. Yeah!
You ready?
It's bandsaw! Sorry, man. Sorry, but just I want to be on the same page as you.
All right.
The same. I can see both of you are on the same page as me, right?
Here, man. Here's a thermos. We got some like a quadruple shot of espresso in here. Oh, that was hot.
Yeah!
Ooh.
Axes! Yeah! Let's do this! Whoa! Ah!
Caught me with that one. Oh, you caught me with that one.
Wow, this tree is tough. The first shot was easy, but I don't know why, but it's real tough after that. Oh, maybe it's the bark? I don't even know, man.
We cut to an office with these two guys. Hi, Brian. And Cletus. Right. Thanks for coming in. Listen, I gotta have a talk to you guys about health and safety issues. You guys just want to give me a quick summary of what happened 18 hours ago out there on the forest?
We did our typical 48-hour prep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. No sleeping.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
We went through all of the standard procedures to be expected. I mean,
Well, no, as protocol, let's go through those now so I can. Step
okay,
one,
Step one, rehydrate.
rehydrate. How do we do that?
Gatorade.
No.
40 minutes later.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Finally, Jesus Christ.
So then, of course, right
Okay.
before we went to Chopin, we did our a very special starting ritual is when we put our head on the axe and go like this. Do this.
Now, did you
25 minutes later.
Okay. That's right. 17,000 rotations.
Yeah.
And then you can begin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sleep deprivation and
We took our thermos of
This-
espresso shots.
yeah.
Yes, good. After the coffee.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
So everything really
Now are we
up
ready?
to code.
Yeah. At that point, I took the first big swing.
So I hear there's bad results, but I can't quite find it in your report.
Oh, it's in there somewhere.
This is thick.
Yeah, well, I just wrote down the transcript of our conversation with drawings and charts.
This is
Did you see the rotations? There's 16 that's just
pages
him.
of,
In fact,
of a man
doing a whirly
doing a
back.
whirly
Yeah,
back.
yeah. If you
Yeah.
flip through it, it actually it's an animation. I feel like I'm really disrupting the health and safety industry through my 1,800-page tomes of.
I think you can do better.
All right. Give me one reason or one way.
One way to do better?
Yes.
Shit.
I gotta say, I don't feel very confident. I don't feel like there is a way to do this better.
Phil, you brought the pipe. Oh shit. Okay.
Yep. Coming to my Japanese style office.
I hate the screen.
Get down the tatami mat. Get down the tatami. Do seiza. Do seiza.
Says to me that he should find a better way.
All right. So about your job as a consultant.
Says to me that I should be better at what I do.
Yes. Part of being a consultant is having.
Says to me I should have taken a class before accepting this job.
To be perfectly honest, Phil, none of us really know what we're doing here. It's the best part of consultancy. But you gotta pretend you have advice. If somebody asks you for something, you make something up.
So shit is not advice.
Shit is no. It's a series of expletives.
All I need is another chance. Just tell me what I gotta do.
All right. I'm just saying, Phil. One of these days, you're gonna want your own exotic office, don't you?
Say to me, have you been reading my diary?
Yeah, it's weird that you put that on my side of the tatami, and there was some there was some scary stuff in there, Phil.
My psychiatrist says to me, my psychiatrist as a child, said that if you write it down and you don't enact on it, it's not bad.
Allow me to do some consulting to you in a personal capacity. That's largely bullshit. What you should do is you should keep those feelings deep inside you. Hold them in there. Hold them tight, like a piece of coal, until it turns into a diamond.
Pressure.
An emotional diamond.
Emotional diamond. Got it. Thank you, sir.
Something you wanted to talk to me about?